My father being a foreigner of Bremen, but by the usual corruption of words in England, we are now called Cruso. Province Cruso.
Mr. Vaux.
From the ship I took 2 or 3 bags full of nails, a dozen hatchets, grindstones, 7 muskets, and a large bag of small shot.
I am drowning, Mr. Vaux. I will not have lies told about me.
The savage, I say, I called Friday. I began to teach him, but especially to make him speak, and understand me when I spoke.
Mr. Vaux, I will say in plain terms what can be said, and leave unsaid what cannot be said. This is the true story of our time on the island. I was set adrift under cover of night. Mother! Why they chose to cast me away, I do not know. Worse by far than the pain of rowing was the prospect of being adrift at night in the vast emptiness of the sea. Mother! Mother! No, that is not the story I wish to tell. Mother! My hands were soon blistered, but I dared not rest. My hands were raw, my back was burned, my body ached. At last, I could row no further. With a sigh, making barely a splash, I slipped overboard.
I have come to the wrong island, I thought to myself. I have come to an island of cannibals. cast me away. They killed their master, and they did this to me. They killed their master, and they... Ants. The same as we have in Bahia in Brazil. And fleas. Do you speak English? Then why are you looking at me as if I were a fish? Oh, you must be wondering who I am and how I come to be here. My name is Susan Barton. 2 years ago, my only daughter was under... Wait, I have a thorn in my foot. I have a thorn. Shall I put my leg on your, no, perhaps like this, Thank you. I have a thorn in my foot. Do you have a needle? My name is Susan Barton. Two years ago, my only daughter was abducted and taken to the New World. I followed in search of her and arrived in Bahia. Everywhere I went, I met with denials. Eventually, I was answered with threats and violence, but I found no trace of my child. At last, I despaired. I embarked for Lisbon. As if my misfortunes were not enough, 10 days out from port, the crew mutinied. They cast me away. I slipped overboard. The rest, you know. With these words, I presented myself to Robinson Crusoe and his manservant, Friday, and became his second subject. May I ask, sir, why you haven't built a boat to escape?
And where should I escape to?
Brazil, to the coast of Brazil.
Brazil is hundreds of miles away and full of cannibals.
You might need a ship and be safe.
Ships? We'll see just as well by staying at home.
I spent 2 years in Brazil and never once met a cannibal.
You were in Bahia. Bahia is nothing but an island on the edge of the Brazilian forest. Friday himself is a cannibal. I saved him from being roasted.
You saved him?
It was many years ago.
How many years?
15.
15? Then you kept a record. Was Friday just a child?
A child, a mere child.
That's terrible. Will they come back? The cannibals. Is that why you look out to sea? In case they return? Later, he told me that he and Friday were the only ones saved when their ship went down off the island, and that Friday was a little slave boy. He told me his father was a wealthy man, a merchant. He left his counting house in search of adventure. He had to go one voyage abroad. But the very next day, he told me he'd been a poor lad of no family, shipped as a cabin boy and captured by the Moors. He had a scar on his arm, which he said was the mark of the branding iron. He escaped and made his way to the New World. But the stories he told me were so various, so hard to reconcile, I couldn't tell what was truth, what was lies, and what was mere rambling.
Do not leave the castle.
Which is what he called this place.
There are apes on the island. They're used to us. But a woman?
Is a woman a different species from a man, then?
Do not leave the castle. Under my roof, you will do as I instruct.
I am on your island, Mr. Cruso, not by choice, but by bad luck. I'm a castaway, not a prisoner. I do not intend to stay. I only have one shoe. If I had a pair of shoes, if you had given me something to make shoes with, I should not need to steal about like a thief. You have a needle. Have you got some twine or gut? I can make myself shoes.
Shoes are not made in a twinkle like handkerchiefs. I will make you shoes in due time.
If the company of brutes had been enough for me, I might have lived most happily on my island. Friday? The fire? Bring more wood, Friday. Wood?
Firewood, Friday.
Like a dog that obeys one master.
Firewood is the word I have taught him. Wood he does not know.
Firewood is a kind of wood. How many words of English does Friday know?
As many as he needs. This is not England. We have no need of the great stock of words.
You speak as if language were one of the banes of life, like money or the pox. If you had taught Friday more English words than firewood, go fetch, dear, you might have had the benefit, the pleasure of conversation, which is one of the marks of civilized life. You have forgotten, that's all. All the years that you have been here, you have forgotten. What good is there in a life of silence?
Sing, Friday. Sing for Mistress Barton. The voice of man.
Is Friday incapable of speech? Is that what you're trying to tell me? He's slow.
Open your mouth. Look! La, la, la.
Oh, oh, oh.
La, la, la.
Hello. Oh, oh.
He has no tongue. Do you see?
No, it's too dark.
La, la, la.
Ah!
They cut out his tongue. That is why he does not speak.
Who cut out his tongue?
The
The
slaves.
slavers. He would have been a child when they took him. Why would they cut out a child's tongue?
Perhaps the slavers who are Moors hold the tongue to be a delicacy. Or perhaps they grew weary of listening to Friday's wails of grief that went on day and night. Perhaps they wanted to prevent him from ever telling his story, who he was, where his home was, how it came about that he was taken. Perhaps they cut out the tongue of every cannibal they took, as a punishment. How will we ever know the truth?
It's a terrible story. Where is the justice in it? A terrible story. Is there no God then? Who watches over us? Or Providence? Doesn't Providence watch over us?
If Providence were to watch over all of us, who would be left to pick the cotton and cut the sugar cane? Perhaps it is the doing of Providence that Friday finds himself on an island under a lenient master, rather than in Brazil under the planter slash, or in Africa where the forests teem with animals.
No, no, no! I
truth than that?
Patience. Patience has turned me into a prisoner. He sees his realm invaded by a woman. Well, I'm not. So be it. Not too early to hold. I told myself if it was a quirk of fate to cast me up here, a ship could arrive as soon by another quirk and take me off.